Welcome to Every Night is Game Night, because we all love game nights with our family and friends. But when you play solo games, then every night can be a game night. Check us out along with other great podcasts at dicetowernetwork.com.
Every Night is Game Night, episode 127, the ENGN Solo Awards for 2018, Part 2.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Every Night is Game Night. This is Anthony, once again with Jason.
Yo, my peoples, what's up?
We're back with more awards.
Giving away stuff.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're not giving away anything.
No, it's true.
we
we got a little logo people can do with as they please, right?
I guess, part of it is I've yet to see a publisher put, because we did them all last year, yet to see anybody put it on the box. But, come on.
It's a dream.
Want to get it on the box, at least on the website. Anyway, so whatever. Like we said last time, these are very tongue-in-cheek. This is our way of reviewing the year. So, why not? Why just have like a discussion? That could be fine. But, this way we use this framing. We get to talk about things in different categories, and we get to invite a lot of our friends, people who are in the solo community, people who are creating content, people who are making the games. This year we adding the voices of the people who are receiving awards. People are really thankful and excited. So glad to keep bringing those clips as well. Even though it's a little bit like herding cats, getting all that together, it's at the end of the day, I think it's all worth it because, I just love to hear a lot of people. I really hope that you guys are enjoying the episode as well. So anything we need to cover before we get started?
No, let's get to it.
We are getting to it with the best short game. So short games are near and dear to solo fans' heart. These are the games that usually card games or quick dice games that we could just kind of throw down, have fun. In between screaming children, in between, episodes of Stranger Things or whatever, we love, as solo players, we love these short games. Happy to present this as a category. We are happy to have a friend back on the podcast. He presented the award last year. He's presenting it this year. Only this year, he's personally invested in the eventual winner of the category.
Hello, this is Travis from Low Player Count, and I am excited to bring to you the best short game for 2018, chosen by fans on BGG and Facebook. The nominees are Ganz Schön Clever, designed by Wolfgang Warsch and published by Schmid Spiele; Palm Island, designed by John Meitling and published by Portal Dragon Games; Sprawlopolis, designed by Stephen Aramini, Danny Devine, Paul Kluka, and published by Button Shy Games; Sunset Over Water, designed by Steve Finn and published by Dr. Finn Games; and Welcome To, designed by Benoit Turbin and published by Blue Cocker Games. The winner is the one and only Sprawlopolis from Button Shy. And what a fantastic, tiny 18-card game this is. Now, I'm a little biased. I worked on the rulebook for this one for Button Shy, and also worked on the rulebook for Welcome To, but you can't pack as much as you can into 18 cards as those guys did with Sprawlopolis. So congratulations.
Hey everyone, this is Jason Tagmeyer from Button Shy Games, and I'm here to accept the award for Best Short Game for Sprawlopolis, which is awesome. I'm really excited about it. And I have to thank Stephen Aramini, Danny Devine, and Paul Kluka for designing the game, because it would be nothing without them. They should be really accepting this award, but they're busy making other games that are probably going to win other awards. Seriously, they're super talented, and it's a blast to work with them. Danny also did the artwork, so I got to thank him twice. Thanks, Danny. Otherwise, Jason and the podcast, Every Night is Game Night. Always a blast to chat, and I'm really excited that we can be a part of this again. The fans, I want to thank the fans of Sprawlopolis that play this game over and over and over every day, trying to beat each other's high scores, their own high scores, my high scores. It's just really exciting to see that. level of replayability and community. We don't really get to see that often, being in this little tiny corner of a big game market. So thank you all. Keep building those cities, and thanks for playing these little tiny games.
All right, my man Travis from Low Player Count. Yes, you heard that correctly. He was a big part of the rules creation, the rules writing of Sprawlopolis, the eventual winner. I don't think, if you follow his Twitter, he's up to it, but maybe some folks out there who know Low Player Count don't realize that Travis writes rules, but he does. And if you have a game and you want some rules written, go ahead and hit him up. He's always looking for, a little bit of extra stuff to do. So, Sprawlopolis.
Yeah, this game was great. I didn't know anything about it because I think I backed one of these Button Shy games like 2 or 3 years ago, but then you get the emails every month and it just kind of, I don't know, I stopped paying attention. Right. But this one kind of just jumped out and hit strong. Everybody was talking about it. Local stores got them in, which almost never happens with these Button Shy games. And it was just addictive. I just kept playing it. And this was in a year when there was a lot of really good, addictive, small card games and dice games, and like Welcome To possibly would have got my vote here probably, but Sprawlopolis is really good, and I'm happy that it won.
Yeah, so it was all over the map. This was definitely an award that was all over the map. So the Facebook group voted for Palm Island, and the BGG group actually tied between Sprawlopolis and Gone Shown Clever, which, if Roll and Wet was going to win an award this year, at least the physical copy, it was going to be Gone's, because it's just a bomb. Like people are loving it. So the vote totals were very, very close. I think they were all within 3 of each other. So Anthony and I, we looked at it and we said, what's our favorite? So this is definitely one of those where Anthony and I kind of got together and broke the tie. And Sprawlopolis, man, I still play it. I think there was that hankering for good city building. And not that this is like the best city builder ever, it doesn't blow you away. But, there's a lot of city builders out there, but they don't quite hit the mark. And it's nice to have one that's like small and it's a lot of replayability and it's just like fun. And there's a co-op mode, so it's not like you're just playing it by yourself. It's actually kind of a cool pass thing. It's so good.
It's such a good little game. I actually played it first as 2-player, and then he's like, "Oh, you played solo?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, yes, absolutely, we'll do that." So,
although it probably would have been fitting had a Roll and Write won, because this was the year of Roll and Writes.
Yeah,
like, we can't talk about short games without talking about all the Roll and Writes that came out this year.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Again, Welcome To Gone Shown Clever. A Roll and Write was nominated for the Kennerspiel, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
It's just this tiny little box game to roll and write, and it's a really good one, but it's just a roll and write, right? Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, and there were ones that didn't make our list, like you liked Railroad Ink, right?
Yeah, Railroad Ink is great. That's another one from Simon. That 2 versions, both of them have little mini expansions in there. They're very, very good. Just so much good stuff, and even more coming out. So many coming out this year, 2019. Once Gone Shown Clever got nominated, people are like, "Oh yeah, we're going all in."
I think 2018 was the year that people designed and talked about a bunch of Roll and Writes, and then 2019 is when they're all going to hit. Yeah,
they're coming. I've got a couple on the radar already. They're coming.
I've not played Welcome To, so I got to go check that out.
Oh, it's my favorite, I think. It has no dice, so it's not really a roll and write, but it's I think that's why I like it the most, because it gives you the opportunity to kind of think about what the numbers might be. You get a little bit more agency than the dice that you could roll the same number 20 times in a row, theoretically. It's a lot of fun. And it's got, I think, 20 new sheets or something coming soon from the recent Kickstarter, so it'll be a lot more replayability.
And then the last game in this category, the lowest vote getter, but actually my number 1 game of the year, was Sunset Over Water from Dr. Finn and Ito over at Pencil First. I freaking love this game. It makes me feel so good. It's such a nice puzzle. Keith did a really great job on the solo. I'm sorry I didn't get more votes, but I'm glad to just kind of mention it, put it out there. Sprawlopolis is definitely the worthy winner, but please go check out Sunset Over Water as well. Just a lot of excellent games here, man. You are not going to go wrong for good stuff to play this year. All right, so let us move on. We are going to step up just a hair, just a little bit, in complexity. So we're going to the best family/gateway game. This was another category. We didn't reach out to a presenter for this because really there was only one standout this year in terms of a family game that is like a non-story game, like a game, just a game. Like you just sit down, you play it. In this category for solo, and that winner was My Little Scythe. And let's hear from the family, the daddy and daughter design team that brought it to us.
Hello? Woo! An award. I always wanted one of these. Thank you so much. Every night is game night. Thank you, everybody. I worked so hard for this.
Vienna, what's going on? Did we win an award for My Little Scythe?
Yes, my game won!
You mean our game, right? Well, that's great. Did you remember to thank all the podcast listeners and gamers who voted for us and Jamie from Stonemaier Games?
Duh, I already said thank you, everybody.
Oh, that's my girl. Now let's finish that next prototype, shall we?
Yay! So we can make that kid's version of Blood Rage?
That was Hobie and Vienna Chow, and that was completely adorable. My Little Scythe.
Yes, such a good game. Like such a cool story too. Like it's not just, oh, this is this fun little spin-off of, I'd have my usual corporate cynicism up if it was just Jamie being like, let's resell this game as a kid's game. Like, no, it's like a retheme because this guy wanted to play the game with his daughter, or she wanted to play with him, whatever the dynamic was, and it's so good, and my kids love it. Like we have none of us have played it solo because I'm not going to play it solo by myself, but the kids absolutely love it.
It also, like, you could also use it as a co-op, daddy and daughter play against the Automa, and it works. And, I know I could have asked for another Automa clip with, I figured unleashing the bot would have been, once was enough. But so this is a category, I mean, this is probably the category where like all of the games are like this, like 60% of our hobby are these weight games, the gateway games, the family games. They're not for solo because these are family games. That's kind of antithetical. I mean, we just happen to be lucky that Jamie and Morton have a good relationship, or the Automa Factory as a whole have a good relationship. So like, here you go, have an Automa. Otherwise, there'd be nothing. It'd be all in storytelling. It'd be like a Stuffed Fables type thing. But I wish that there was more of that kind of family weight co-op stuff. There wasn't a lot. There really wasn't a lot of like, I guess like a Flashpoint Fire Rescue, like that kind of simplicity. That's just not a category that, gets a lot of love for the solo community. And I guess the solo community is good with that because we have our own games, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not really the types of people who are playing solo at home. This is not the type of game we're looking for.
Yeah. But we're happy it's here. We're happy to, give some recognition. My Little Scythe is still an amazing game. I have it. I'm not getting rid of it. It's really, really good. Go check that out. All right, let us step up our game. So speaking of games and solo gamers wheelhouse, this is one of the feature categories. In fact, all three of these last three categories are just feature categories. These are the games that solo gamers are playing. The first category that I will present is Best Adventure Game. And a friend of ours from across the pond is going to help us out.
Hi, I'm Tristan Hall from Hall or Nothing Productions, aka Ninja Dog on Board Game Geek. I'm the designer of the games Gloom of Kilforth, a fantasy quest game, and 1066, Tears to Many Mothers. I'm also the co-host of the Board Chitless Podcast, and I'm delighted to have been asked to present the award for Best Adventure Game today, as this stuff is my catnip basically, and they're all fantastic entries this year. The nominees are City of Kings, designed by Frank West, published by City of Games; Deep Madness, designed by Roger Ho, published by Dimension Games; Dungeon Alliance, designed by Andrew Parks, published by Chaotic Games; Heroes of Terranoth, designed by Adam and Brady Sadler, published by Fantasy Flight; and Street Masters, designed by Adam and Brady Sadler and published by Blacklist Games. And the winner is A tie! Unbelievable. Make up your minds, people. The winners are City of Kings and Heroes of Terranoth have both taken the prize together. Congratulations to Frank West of City of Games, a lovely bloke who's worked his butt off to bring this behemoth of a game to the masses. And congratulations also to the brilliant and prolific Sadler brothers, Adam and Brady, who have been pumping out top quality games for years. Adam and Brady and Frank have all actually appeared a few times on our Board Chitless podcast, if you'd like to have a listen to us chin-wagging about games. I'm extra excited for the three of them that they deservingly and collectively won this award, because I consider them all personal friends. Their mileage might vary, of course. Okay, thanks for having me on ENGN. Good luck to everyone else in the awards, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hey, it's Brady Sadler here with Adam Sadler. Yeah, we just wanted to hop on and say thanks. We appreciate everyone voting for Heroes of Terranoth for Best Adventure Game, I believe was the category. Right?
Yes, yes. We're very happy that everybody has enjoyed it. We enjoyed making it, and we were so happy to, after Warhammer Quest went away, that this one could come back, and everybody is still excited about this game.
Yeah, it had even a better reception than Warhammer Quest, so glad everyone stayed hungry for it and looking forward to its long future.
Hey everyone, Frank here from the City of Games, and I've just been told that we've won an award for the best adventure game of 2018. I mean, this is so unexpected that I have absolutely no idea what to say, and for those of you who know me, that is not really a common thing. So thank you so much for nominating the City of Kings as the best adventure. I've spent so many years working on this game, and I'm just so overwhelmed to hear that people are out there and they're playing the game and enjoying the game and just playing through these adventures that we've created. Thank you so much, and I hope for years to come you continue to enjoy the game.
Yes, Luke, Hector, another tie. Nuts to you.
Take that.
It's our awards. We can do whatever we want.
No, we're just doing it on purpose because you don't like it. Ha ha.
This was one of those where the vote, obviously last year, Gloomhaven, the bad year blimp just coming in, no game had a chance, This year, this was definitely more, there wasn't like that big dominant game that kind of came in and dominated. So, and this was another case where the Facebook group voted for the more casual-ish game and the BGG group voted for something that was a little bit more meaty. So City of Kings, we reviewed it on the show. I know it's not your type of game. A lot of randomness in terms of flipping tiles and discovery and like random things happening, long game, big rule book, 3-4 hours of scenario and all that kind of stuff. So I know you're not going to be too much into that, but I know you've recommended Heroes of Terranoth, which is the kind of simpler version. Have you gotten a chance to really crack that open?
Just a little bit, yeah. I mean, I played the Warhammer Quest adventure card game, which is just this with an IP slapped on it, and before a few tweaks. So I know the system, and I knew I liked it. And so when Heroes of Terranoth came out, I was very excited. I picked it up because I wanted more from that, and obviously the Games Workshop breakup meant that wasn't going to happen. So I have it. I'm definitely have played a little bit of it and enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to more content, which sounds like it's coming. So I'm not gonna get. Well, don't tell me otherwise, because I don't want to get all invested again and have this be just another stupid core box from Fantasy Flight that has no expansions. Come on, guys.
Nothing's announced. I think the Sadlers are ready to do it. As people who followed Brady and Adam, they just went full time at Blacklist. They've quit their day jobs and they're designing full time. So they have plenty of ideas and plenty of stuff, ready to go. I guess Fantasy Flight just really wants to get that Middle Earth release, get that right and get that out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And all the other stuff that they have going on. So, so we'll see. Hopefully we'll get more Heroes of Terranoth. Some of these other games, Street Masters was another, the Blacklist game. Really, really good, hurt by limited distribution. In fact, all these, Deep Madness, very good limited distribution. Dungeon Alliance, not as good, but well regarded by some, limited distribution. I mean, these games, this is like the Kickstarter category, for the most part, except for obviously Heroes, which, landed with the Facebook group. That's why y'all voted for it. Deservedly so. One game, though, that I don't know if you got a chance to play this one, could have been a contender. Could have been that big bad year blimp that just everybody's playing, everybody's loving, but it didn't quite happen. Discover Lands Unknown.
Oh, because it's bad. It's just a bad game.
It could have been.
I mean, anything I say about an adventure game is grain of salt, right? Because, I don't like most of them, but this was so boring. I don't know.
It's bad.
It's such a boring game.
I love adventure games. I played like half a game and I just stood up and walked away.
So bad.
You know what it is? Like, did you play 504?
Yes.
It's so 504. If you're a little bit newer, you don't know what 504 is. The Friedman Fries is a Euro designer, and he made a box with modules, and you can with three different a lot of different modules, and you can combine them in different ways to make different games. 504 different games, 504 different boring games.
Yeah,
not good. So you put in too much of something and then it just doesn't work out. Discover was all these different games and across all these different boxes, and when you get that many games, they're all boring. We have not reviewed.
It's all watered down. It doesn't work.
We have not reviewed it on the show. There's our review. Don't play that.
It's not even aggressively bad. It's just aggressively boring. I'm not even going to say it's poorly made. It doesn't work. Everything works fine. It's just dull.
Yeah. There's some people who like it, but hey, we are definitely not among those people. But that could have been the contender. But no, it left room for some pretty deserving contenders. We love Brady and Adam. We love Frank. We are looking forward to releases from them in the future. Definitely. Now we get to you, my friend. This is your category. The best advanced strategy game is what I'm calling this thing. And we are going to throw it to yet another friend in the content creator community to introduce the category. Hopefully they get the pronunciation of the winner correct.
The nominees for Best Advanced Strategy Game are Archmage, designed by Tim Hirama, published by Starling Games. Founders of Gloomhaven, designed by Isaac Childress, published by Cephalofair Games. Newton, designed by Simone Luciani and Nestore Mangone, published by Cranio Creations. Teotihuacan, designed by Daniele Toschin, with a solo mode from David Turchesi, published by NSKN Games. Wendake, designed by Danilo Sabia, published by Potencia Games. And the winner is Teotihuacan.
That is Michelle Ridge of the Tabletop Crier blog. Thank you very much, Michelle, for doing the legwork and pronouncing our esteemed winner correctly, and also just for being a very cool person, a complete stranger reaching out to her. I wasn't familiar with her work, but go ahead and check it out. She has a neat blog. She's a very cool Twitter, and hopefully we'll have her back on the show at some point. As opposed to these two gentlemen, Sporadically Bored, Mike and Dan, I might have to reconsider their invitation to my podcast after this travesty you're about to listen to.
Dan, I don't know if you're as excited as I am to accept this award for Best Advanced Strategy Game. I'm over the moon excited about this game. It's one that I particularly enjoy. It's Teotihuacan.
Peko likum takun. Well done.
Indeed.
To Peko Tio Wata.
Chitty chitty bang bang. Tinker Tailor Spy.
Tinker Tailor Spy.
Yes.
Well done. And good luck looking that up on BGG, because not only can't you say it, you can't spell it.
This is true.
What's going on there?
Dan, it's a new and exciting theme. That's what it is.
Do you know what? I really like this accepting awards and then slagging off the game.
I do too. Yeah, this is. I think this is a whole new revenue stream for us, Dan. I think we need to find a way to make this our new gig.
Yeah, on the Oscars we can come on and say this film was rubbish.
Exactly. So look, we're just putting a call out there. This is on behalf of Dan and Mike. We if you have any type of awards that you would like us to accept on their behalf, especially if there's any type of monetary award, indeed, we want a part of that.
Yeah, we do, and we promise we will be as ungracious and unprofessional within the acceptance of these awards as we humanly possibly can.
Indeed, because you expect nothing less.
Because you're worth it.
I am a little bit tired of being surrounded by so much whiteness that cannot pronounce this game. It's
hard to pronounce. What do you want?
Follow a guide. Teotihuacan. Is that so hard?
Yes.
It's not chitty chitty bang bang. How dare you? Oh my goodness.
Man.
But okay.
Hey, I'm just professing my own ignorance here. It's fine. I'm just
I will give you credit. You have not even tried to pronounce it correctly. You settled on pronunciation. You're owning it, so sure, why not?
I feel like just aggressively being wrong instead of trying to sound right and still being wrong is probably better.
So we talked about this. This was a blowaway winner as opposed to a lot of the other categories. I don't know that like any game has hit as hard as this game. They've already announced an expansion. I mean, I think it's in the top 200 on BG already, which is really good for a game that is not like a huge, big release or anything like that. I mean, I think we're just going to be hearing it from this game for a long time.
Yeah, I think by the end of 2019, it'll be in the top 50, probably. Like, it's that good, and people regard it that well, and that many people have picked it up. Which, the buzz for this thing was so strong right from the start that I'm not that surprised, but at the same time, I am, because it's kind of rare for a Euro to just break through like that and just be ubiquitous, right? Most of the games that manage to do that are just like, everybody's playing it, everybody loves it, are... have miniatures or some kind of adventure thing, or just they have some kind of thing to them, or overproduction, or their Kickstarter, or whatever they are. This is a traditionally released game. It's a Euro, and people love it. And I'm all for it. It was my game of the year last year, but it's just so cool to see this many people, just excited about this game, because it means we're going to get more content for it, first off, which is awesome. Yeah. And it encourages other people to do the same kind of thing, which is double awesome.
And reasonable price point, like crazy.
Yes.
We got to call that out. We have to call that out. I mean, I just complained about either in this episode or last one about Comanauts being $70, Gen 7 being $100, a bunch of Kickstarters, everything on Kickstarter is like over however many dollars. This is not bad, and it's a really good game. You get a lot of game for the money you're paying.
No, it is crazy. I brought this game and Blackout Hong Kong, which is a 2019 release, so it didn't make this list. But I brought both of those to game night a couple weeks ago, and this game is packed to the rim of the box with components, right? It's a ton of stuff in here. You got all the different bits and the pyramid tiles and this big, beautiful board, all this stuff. And then Blackout Hong Kong is just a few chits and a couple decks of cards. And it was $20 more into this game. Like it's crazy what people are charging for Euros these days. And with this one, they're just like, we have a winner on our hands, and they went and printed tens of thousands of copies, which is part of the reason they could keep the price down. Mm-hmm. But that's part of this. Stop making mediocre games where they're so expensive because you don't print enough. Like, just make good stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know me. I'm very picky. Not that I'm against Euros, I'm just super picky. Like, I actually just I played it before, but I'm starting to get into Orleans again. Man, that game is good. Oh my, holy moly! I really love it. Like if it's good, it's good. And let's look at that. I'm pronouncing it like you are.
In your head.
I do that. I slide back and forth depending on what my mentality is saying. Teotihuacan is so good, and I'm really surprised. It's actually more of a midway game. I made the call to put this in the advanced strategy, not strategy, because I think it's a little bit of a step up from some of the other games in the more kind of midweight-ish category. I would consider this a midway game, but it's long. Like, this game is not short, especially with like a teach, because there's a lot of stuff to explain. And I just think like it's one of those games that just rewards multiple plays. Like you can play this game 10, 12, 15, 20 times and still be discovering stuff. So, that kind of made the call there. And I think that I was just really happy with the recognition that it got.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's got a great little bot, the Teoti bot. I can't pronounce that either, but it's great. It's super simple. It's just these few little tiles that tell you what to do. It's not some crazy, overly complicated autumn where you have to read a whole separate book about the movements. It's just like, do this, move the dice, done.
Yeah.
And it really, really works. And it's a lot of fun to play solo.
So some of the other, at least games to mention, Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea could have been in this category, but very limited distribution. I mean, I think that Gamelin Games, it really is a good game. Just they go from Tiny Epic to like this big production, and it's just, things take a little bit of time. I think it'll hit a lot harder this year because of retail release and, a little bit more kind of behind it. So definitely that one to look out for. The disappointment of the year. I think the last year's heavy game disappointment was First Martians. This one's probably Founders of Gloomhaven.
Mm. Yeah. Over at BGA, we did a bonus episode of like we call them the board game Razzies. So just like the stuff that was disappointing or bad or whatever for 2018. And this was my biggest Kickstarter disappointment of the year. And like, not even surprisingly so, because it's not a bad game. And it's not like I expected it to be the most amazing game. It's just, it was not polished. The rulebook wasn't great. It just didn't sit well. And I was very disappointed because I wanted it to be something great. I wanted that mind that created Gloomhaven to give me a Euro that felt just as good, and it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm. So this is so one last thing part about this category. A lot of really great games came out either very limited release or at the very end of the year that we're going to bump to next year. Blackout Hong Kong, Underwater Cities, which we're going to hear more about, Cerebria, which we're going to be hearing more about. Those will get bumped to next year. So, stay tuned, man. We're just going to keep on rolling with these things. We are not going to miss a beat. There's room for everything. So now we are going to get to the capstone category, best strategy game. This is, kind of right in that midweight, right in that, this can double as a feature game on game night. It can be very rewarding in a solo context. These are games that just get played over and over and over again. People always posting about them, taking pictures of them, everything. So we're really happy to kind of leave this one for last, and we're especially happy to welcome back three friends, two of the presenters who should be very familiar to you by now, and the winner, who is a dear friend to the solo community.
Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire.
Hey, and this is Jeremy from Jambalaya Plays Games.
And we are here with the nominees for the best midweight strategy game of 2018.
Architects of the West Kingdom.
Australia.
Dice Settlers.
Everdell.
Obsession.
Reichelt.
Renegade.
And the winner is...
Renegade, designed by Richard Wilkins, published by Victory Points Games. Man, congrats, Ricky Roy. You are the GOAT.
Yeah, we love you, Ricky.
We love you, Ricky.
Hi, this is Ricky from Box Delights and designer of Renegade. I just want to say a huge thank you to all the listeners of Every Night is Game Night and to Anthony and Jason for supporting the game and for this ENGN Award, the 2018 solo strategy game. Thanks to all you folks who've supported through the Kickstarter of 2018. Wow, what a year it was. And of course, thanks to the team at Victory Point Games, to Clark Miller for bringing the game alive with his artwork, to Alan, Tyler, Noel and Karen, Barry, Dion, Petra, Nathan for making this dream a reality. And thank you to all you folks for playing the game. It makes me proud just to know even a few of you are enjoying this game. Look out for more content in 2019 as we look to do a second Kickstarter coming soon. And I can't wait to keep challenging you with more supermassive computers with more countermeasures to take on. Keep listening to the podcast and keep on gaming. Thanks for your votes, folks.
Congrats, Ricky!
Yeah! Come full circle from a year and a half ago having him on the podcast to talk about the game, and now here we are.
He was one of our first previews, and the first one we did together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we were really excited about it. We heard about it. You know, we I forget what was the circumstance where we reached out to him. I think it was like for the top 10, because we did a top 10 solos like way back.
Yeah.
And I reached out for him to what is his favorite solo. I think it was Hoplomachus. And then he's like, oh, I have a game coming out. It's like, okay, we'll take a look. And here we are, a year and a half later. It's Victory Point Games has been purchased by Starling Games. So this game is going to get more platform, more exposure. And, I'm sorry to some of these other games, but the love that the solo community has for Ricky Royal, y'all didn't have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's such a good game though. And so few people are talking about it outside of the solo community that I'm glad that we're amplifying it, because it's not just a solo game. Anybody can play this. And the people I've gotten to sit down and play it with me really like it. So I want more people to see it and hear it and play it.
Yeah. It's cool style. It's a unique, cyberpunk, like that kind of futuristic, inside a computer cyberpunk. The Tron look is not done in games very much. The cooperation is there. Sometimes you get cooperative games that are just kind of like multiplayer solo. No, there's a lot of cooperation in this game. The deck building is good. That it's innovative because you have the deck that doesn't grow, which thank God. I'm tired of these deck builders just like leave your crappy cards in your deck. You just kind of like basically playing around your crappy cards. No, get rid of your crappy cards. Let's get a good deck and let's get going. So many things this game does right. It has that Mage Knight pedigree. I mean, Mage Knight isn't, you could tell Ricky loves Mage Knight, and it just has that kind of feel to it. It's not the same game at all, but I can't say enough good things about this game. I still play it. But there's so many other good games.
Yeah.
Anthony, would you have voted for Architects in this category?
I was really torn between several of these. Like Architects, really, really good. Has a great solo mode. Love the way it does the worker placement capture mechanic. Obsession was a game that really jumped out at me at PAX, and tracked down a copy, and I played it several times. And I really, really enjoy that. It's a unique theme.
We talked about it with Liz and Jeremy. I didn't get your thoughts on Obsession. Did you like it?
I like it a lot. Yeah. What did you end up thinking?
We enjoyed it. Like, I really did. I mean, it's funny because Dan Halligan, he is so engaged. And we went back and forth on an email, like, because I told him, like, we reviewed the episode, what you think? And he's like, yeah, this, and this, and this, and this. And there was this that you pointed out and everything. And we're going back and forth. And you could just tell that he's just so passionate about the game. And he's so passionate about the theme. And it just, I dig that, and it's my kind of game. It's like, it's simple. It's not like engine buildy. It's tactical more than strategic.
Yep.
I like that. That's fine.
It's really good. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a game have so much flavor text though in my entire life. Maybe Magic the Gathering. I don't know. There was so much flavor text. A whole glossary full of like historical notes.
Yeah. So very quality game. Very happy to at least get Obsession a nomination. Feature that logo. Go over there. Go for it, man. Obsession was good. Architects we talked about a couple episodes ago. Very good.
Yeah, I mean, Dice Settlers is another one.
Yes.
That really, really enjoyed. This one and Teotihuacan both came out.
Thank you for trying.
I tried. Both came out around the same time, and
yes.
I actually tracked this one down because I got the promo for it in the components for Teotihuacan, and I was like, oh, and they have like crossing promos on each side, and it's also amazing. Who knew? So
Dice Settlers is really good. We covered it a little while ago. You did on BG, I did it on here. We enjoyed Dice Settlers. We haven't talked about Australia yet. Australia is a solid one. I mean, if it wasn't Cthulhu, I would really enjoy it a lot more. But it's why?
Yeah, Cthulhu's kept me away. I mean, I'm probably gonna play it because people keep telling me how good it is. But
it's good, dude. It's
Cthulhu. Good. I don't know.
It's good. It's like Australia. We'll probably do a fuller review coming up in the next couple of weeks or so. It's very tight machine. Like it's such a smooth design. Like I've played a bunch of games because I taught it a bunch for Dex Envoy. Every single time, if Cthulhu didn't just win, that because you're facing Cthulhu could win, but it ends perfectly. And it's hard for a game to do that, like, because everybody's kind of even in points. which isn't always the best thing, but like, everybody feels like they have a chance. Everybody feels engaged. You have a board full of monsters. By the end of the game, the board is basically wiped out of monsters. It just, everything just works, and everything's so intuitive and smooth in that game. Every single one of these games. I didn't even mention Everdell. I love Everdell. My perfect game, like in terms of like card playing and like Race for the Galaxy-ish, but like a really good production. And there's so many other games here. Like, I mean, I know you didn't love Petrichor, but Petrichor is good.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good game.
I love Rescue Polar Bears. What else we got here? I know you're not really like a Reckoners guy, but that people enjoyed that one. There's a lot here. Ray Colt, did you enjoy Ray Colt? You were like, okay, right?
It's super light for a Uwe Rosenberg game, but it's not a bad game. It's like, it's not a good representation of the kind of games he makes, but it's good.
Take out Uwe Rosenberg. Let's say you didn't know he was a designer.
It's okay. It's good. It's not great. It's good. It's
okay.
It's just it's not the kind of Euro that just sticks with you for too long because there's not a lot of meat on the bones. So you're wondering like, well, what am I doing here? I prefer Newsfjord, which was another lighter game that he did, but it just had a little bit more going on with it.
Okay. I mean, but still good games. Like there's good games up and down this list. But we think that Renegade was the worthy choice. Happy to, give Ricky Royal as much press as we can get. That whole system, Starling Games, everything. We're just really happy. And we're really happy to, bring you this whole set of episodes. That's a lot of ground that we covered. Hopefully over the last couple of episodes, we've covered the whole year. You guys have a good launching point if you haven't, dove into the year as much as we have. But maybe at the end of this, now that we're at the end, maybe we can kind of reflect on 2018 as a year in gaming. What do you think, man? How did you enjoy the year?
It was good. Yeah. I mean, it was funny because the 2 years before had such enormous standout hits that it was just at the end of the year, you're like, this was a year of Gloomhaven. This was a year of Scythe and Terraforming Mars. This year was the year of all sorts of stuff. I don't know. We mentioned roll and writes being a big thing. There was, I don't know, just nothing really stood out, but that doesn't mean anything. It wasn't as good. It just meant a lot of good games, less ridiculously amazing games. You know what I mean?
I did the top 10. You can go over to BGA and check out the top 10 just in general game of the year. They're all games that I rated an 8. That's good. That's a good sign. Like my number 10 game down there is an 8. I don't remember doing that for like 2017. But like 2017 had like, Gloomhaven and Spirit Island. So boom, boom, boom. And that's all you needed to know. I mean, obviously there's always good games every year. But this year I felt like there was I kept a lot more in my collection from this year. And there was more games this year. Believe me, there was a lot more stuff that we did not keep.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'll remember most about this year.
Yeah. So maybe that's also a thing, like in terms of we're pretty enthusiastic about the games that we really liked. But then there was a lot of games that were like the same. Not that they were bad, but like you look at it and go, I've played this before. And what is this doing that's new? And it's like, okay, why couldn't you just do this with another theme or whatever it is,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good point. And like to your point, like talking about the games that came out last year, you mentioned Gloomhaven, you mentioned Spirit Island. Those are both in my top 10. And I don't know that anything that came out in 2018 is up that high, at least not yet. Maybe like Brass Birmingham, that's not really count. It's kind of a re-release.
Right.
But there are a lot of games that I feel like will make their way into my top 100. We mentioned several already, just games that won awards here that will be up on the list. So it's just a lot of good, not a lot of amazing, great. But I think that's just kind of the way the hobby's going, where the volume of stuff coming out is increasing, and it just brings down the average, I guess.
Yeah.
The quality of things. And then there might be more hidden gems that even we miss out on because of that volume. And like Obsession being a prime example. Yes. Neither one of us would know that existed if I didn't happen to play it in the back corner of the hall at PAX, completely missed the Kickstarter. Most people did. And yet there it is. It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. Like that's another. I don't know if it got to 8, 7.5. I mean, it's definitely better than good. And that's what I'm looking for. A lot of games were better than good. A lot of games are very good. A a lot of games were just good. So we have to kind of temper our enthusiasm. And the other thing is, I don't think we got that genre busting concept like a legacy or a new way to kind of approach deck building or whatever it is. We didn't get that either. But, can you get that every year? I don't know. At the end of the day, I have a lot of games on my shelf from 2018 that I'm keeping. So, good year. I guess we could just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think it's fair. All right, guys. That is everything for our Monster Mega 2018 review, and congratulations to all 10 award winners, and thanks to everybody who kind of came on and helped us present those awards, and everybody who came on to accept the awards. Congratulations to all of you. And if you guys are interested in learning more about any of those games, make sure you hit up all the various websites of those publishers and designers and everybody who worked on them, but also hit up everynightisgamenight.com, where you'll find these episodes plus some of those reviews, past episodes where we talked about them, and the Every Night is Game Night Facebook group as well, where all of this stuff is posted, as well as those polls, and you can take part of those again in the future. But for this week, that's going to go ahead and be everything. So until next time, go ahead and grab a solo game off the shelf, and let's make every night game night.
Later, everybody.